You just graduated boot camp or officer candidate school, and there are credit cards out there with thousands of dollars a year in benefits that are completely free for military members that most junior troops don't even know about. While your friends are using a debit card for every purchase with no real perks and not building any credit, you could be flying lounge access, getting free dinners at fancy restaurants, or getting free travel credit to fly back home and stop Jody from getting with your girl. I'm going to rank the best credit cards that you can get absolutely for free as a member of the military. I'm going to show you exactly how to get that annual fee waived. And if you're 18 and have zero credit, stick around because I got you covered on that too. Here's the honest truth. These credit cards that I'm about to go over require a good to excellent credit score, typically around a 700. Your military paycheck being guaranteed and stable, backed by the federal government, is a huge plus for banks that are looking over an application for these credit cards. But if you're 18, fresh out of high school, and you've never had a loan, a credit card before, anything like that, you have no credit score. You don't have bad credit score, you just have zero. And issuers can't approve anything because there's no history of credit score. So we'll figure that out together. Before we go further, let's keep this simple and explain how credit works. When you use a credit card, you're not spending your own money like with a debit card. You're using the bank's money, and then you repay the bank. Here's the one rule that matters. You want to make sure you're paying back everything you spent by the due date at the end of every month. If you do that, it's completely free and they won't charge you any interest. Let's say you don't pay it all back. Let's say you spent $500 and you only pay $100 back by the due date. This is when the institution or the bank is going to start charging you interest. On most cards, it can be around 20%. So it's in your best interest to spend within your means, spend under your credit limit, and then pay that back in full by the due date every single month. And here's why it matters even more. If you're overspending or not paying it back in time, this is the exact things that will hurt your credit score and will limit you in increasing that later on. So the entire game is this. Spend within your means, spend what you know you can pay back in time. It's gonna build your credit. You're gonna be able to get better credit cards, increase your spending limit, and it's all gonna be for free. You'll never have to pay interest. So if you already have a credit score around 700, maybe when you were younger, you had a car loan or a credit card with an authorized user like a parent, then you can absolutely apply for these credit cards today and get the fee waived and start taking advantage of the benefits that are provided. If you're starting from zero, don't worry. Everyone starts from zero at some point. I'm going to show you exactly how to start building credit score today for free, and it's going to be a lot quicker than you think to get up to an excellent credit score. The biggest lever most people and most service members don't realize for building good credit long term is actually time. Frankly, the longer you've had a credit card and you've been responsibly using it, the better your score is going to be, which is a great opportunity when you're 18 years old or 22, leaving OCS, you're just joining the military for the first time and having a real paycheck for the first time. This is an excellent opportunity to start building credit while your civilian peers may not have that opportunity because their paycheck's unstable and their pay isn't guaranteed and backed by the federal government. A 22-year-old civilian who has been working in the civilian world compared to an 18-year-old who just graduated boot camp are not even in the same playing field. The 18-year-old has so much more power here to start building credit and getting their credit score off and running from a very young age compared to a 20-something-year-old in the civilian sector who may not be able to get approved because of their job, their situation, things like that. If I was starting from zero today, just joined the Marine Corps or the Navy as an 18-year-old, 22-year-old, fresh out of boot camp, OCS, these are the two credit cards that I would sign up for today. First, we have the Navy Federal cashRewards secured credit card. This is a refundable security deposit as low as $200, and this becomes your credit limit. So if you put $200 in, that's the credit limit you have every month to spend. There's no annual fee. You get 1% cash back on every purchase while you build. It reports to all three major credit bureaus every month. There's no foreign transaction fees, which is great for being in the military. And Navy Federal will periodically review your account so you can graduate to an unsecured card once you've built history. Once you've done that, your deposit gets refunded. The second card is the USAA Secured Visa Platinum. Similarly, you deposit between $250 and $5,000, and that sets your credit limit. So it's your choice based on what you can afford to put down. There's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees. What the difference is here is the deposit actually sits in a CD and earns interest while you're building your card. It reports to all three bureaus. It includes travel protections. Most secured cards skip, which includes rental car coverage, travel, trip, cancellation coverage. USAA reviews for graduation to an unsecured card with consistent on-time use. Both of these cards work in the exact same way. You're putting up a deposit to set your credit limit, and then once the bank sees that you're responsibly spending and paying off this credit limit, staying within that limit and paying it off on time, usually after 6 to 12 months, they'll bump you up to an unsecured card, you get your deposit back, and you get a little more credit spending limit. This is a great way for banks to have no risk for them and a great way for you to start building credit. Use these cards for small purchases every month, like filling up your gas, some groceries, annual monthly subscriptions. These are the ones where you want to stay under your credit limit to start building, and eventually expand. Going into the 3 premium credit cards that you can get if you have a credit score and a good and excellent one. First off, we have the American Express Platinum credit card. If you're sitting at a credit score around 700, this is a credit card that you can absolutely get today. It's an $895 annual fee that's waived for you if you're an active duty service member. And here are the benefits that you get with that credit card. You get airport lounge access to over 1,500 lounges worldwide, Delta Sky Clubs, Priority Pass, Centurion lounges. You get a $200 annual airline incidental credit. This covers upgrades and bag fees. You get $200 annually in Uber Cash. $600 in annual hotel credit through Amex's Fine Hotels and Resorts program. You get $400 in Resi dining credit for partner high-end restaurants. You get $300 in digital entertainment credit. I use mine for Disney Plus and Hulu, but you can use it for other streaming subscriptions. You automatically get Marriott Gold and Hilton Gold Elite status, which is really nice. And you get global entry and TSA PreCheck reimbursed every 4 years, which you can give to a family member because if you're on active duty, you already have PreCheck. That's realistically $2,000 worth of benefits that you have access to right away. The caveat is you have to enroll and apply for those benefits once you have the American Express Platinum card. Again, they're free, but they just don't come automatically once you have the card. Good news is if your credit isn't excellent yet, maybe it's hovering around the 700, high 600 range, American Express is much more lenient with getting you approved for a credit card like this. So how does the fee get waived? If American Express approves you for this credit card, it should automatically, under the MLA, see that you're an active duty service member and waive that fee. However, if that doesn't happen, American Express has the best customer service I've ever worked with, so you would just reach out to them and they would waive that fee. The second credit card we have here is the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Again, heavy travel credit card like the Platinum. This comes in at $795, and this one's a little more stringent to get approved on. Typically, they require an excellent credit score between 720 and higher, and they also weigh your credit history, not just what your credit score is and where your pay is coming from. So it's a little bit more difficult to get approved, but absolutely possible. And here's what you get if you're approved. You get $300 in annual travel credit automatically applied. There's no enrollment needed. I used this right away when I was in the basic school to fly back to see my girlfriend, who is my now wife. And it's good for, a flight or two. You get 8 time points on Chase travel bookings. You get 4 times points on flights and hotels booked directly, and 3 times on dining worldwide. You get Priority Pass Select plus Chase's own branded Sapphire Lounge access. You get up to $500 in credit for The Edit, which is Chase's luxury hotel collection. And you get up to $300 in dining credit at Sapphire Reserve exclusive table restaurants. You also get PreCheck and global entry with this one. You can give to a family member. And the bigger one is the trip cancellation and interruption insurance that specifically covers military orders. So if you're on leave and your travel plans get blown up by the big green weenie, this will protect you and save your money. So how to get it waived? Once you're approved, you'll call Chase Military Services or be able to chat them online, and they'll get that fee completely waived for you if you're active duty. The third card, which is actually one of my favorites, is the American Express Gold card. This is not as travel heavy as the Sapphire Reserve and the American Express Platinum. This is more for daily use. The annual fee is $325, and this is absolutely what the junior troops should be using for day-to-day purchases to build credit. So with the Gold card, you get 4 times points at restaurants worldwide, including takeout and delivery. You get 4 times points at grocery stores. You get 3 times the points on flights booked direct through Amex Travel. But if you have the Platinum card, which hopefully you get in tandem, you would want to book on the Platinum card since it's 10 times the points. You get up to $120 in dining credit, so $10 a month at Grubhub, Cheesecake Factory, and other partners. You get up to $120 in Uber Cash for Uber Eats or rides, which you can stack with the Uber Cash you get from the Platinum card. You get up to $100 in Resi credit, which again is fine dining restaurants. You can stack that as well with the Platinum. And there's no foreign transaction fees. Again, solid if you end up stationed overseas. This is definitely the strongest pick for everyday use for junior officers, junior enlisted with good credit score. So here's the next steps. If you have a credit score around 700 or higher, I would absolutely go apply for all 3 of these credit cards. I had all 3 while I was in. I actually still have my Gold card and pay the $300 fee because of how great American Express is. Once I got out of the military, the Platinum and Sapphire Reserve, I just couldn't justify the annual cost, so I got rid of those and downgraded. However, if you're active duty, there's no reason not to have these credit cards under your belt. Now, if you don't have the credit score needed or you have no credit at all, go ahead and go out and get those 2 free credit cards that I had mentioned earlier. Start building your credit, spend within your limit, pay it off on time. And remember, time is the best thing you can have for building a credit score. I'd appreciate it if you drop a comment on where your credit score is today. Let me know if you have any of these cards, other cards that you like to have and have found perks on. If you have questions about your financial situation or maybe if you're going to get approved or not, feel free to leave a comment. If you can go ahead and subscribe, I'm going to continue putting out great financial advice for service members, and spreading this channel is how we help the community overall. And if you can go ahead and like this video, I would appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.